Welcome to the world's fastest growing podcast that interviews random Todds and asks them unpredictable questions in a series of wacky segments.
Here at the Toddcast, we believe every Todd has a story, and we want to hear it. Oh, welcome in, everybody, to another wondrous episode of the Toddcast. We are ecstatic to be joined by photographer, creative director, TV personality, fitness enthusiast, photographer, the list goes on, Todd Anthony Tyler. Check out his Instagram at Todd Anthony Tyler. How you doing, Todd?
Hey, doing pretty good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for joining us. It's quite an extensive list of accolades and other titles you have there. And I also left off, you were a photographer on Asia's Next Top Model, and you were on photographer and judge on Fit for Fashion. Yeah,
that's how I got started in with TV and all that sort of thing, was with Asia's Next Top Model, the Nigel Barker of Asia kind of thing, because that's what the role was. And then I went on to do another show called Fit for Fashion, which is on Netflix. So that one's more readily available over here.
Nice.
And so, pretty cool job.
Sure. It looks like it. And I see, is that an abundance of cameras behind you, or is that just a decorative wall?
Yeah. That's my office. My camera, my vintage camera collection in my office.
Cameras for days.
I have a problem. I just keep buying them.
How many do you have? Do you know how many you have?
Honestly, I don't. It's probably at least 300 to 400 of them, I would say. That's
pretty sweet though. It's a nice backdrop.
Yeah, it's the entire wall here in the office is just all vintage cameras. It's just something I like.
I couldn't tell if it was just like a Zoom background or if it was real life, and it's clearly real life, and you have a ton of cameras.
Sheesh. Wow. Well, let's learn a little bit more about you in our first segment.
Once upon a Todd.
All right, so you had quite an extensive list of titles there. So kind of want to hear about some of your major accomplishments. We noticed that you're a new father, so congrats on that. How's that going for you?
All right, yeah, thank you for that. I think with all the other things that I've been so lucky to do, being a father, I mean, it sounds so cliche, but it's like, because I was just, if I could just go in real quick, I was the guy that was never going to get married and never have kids. So if we go from that direction, now I've been wonderfully married and now I have a son, and that's just something that I did not expect. But all things considered, it's an amazing thing to be a dad, and I'm just loving it.
Yeah. It's a good time. I saw some of the pictures. Congrats on that. I know that's probably keeping you pretty busy lately.
Yeah, that definitely adds another layer. I mean, there was part of that thought. Well, especially pre-COVID, I was flying somewhere every week or so. So definitely that didn't lend well to being home and giving my kid his bath before he goes to bed kind of thing. But COVID has actually in some ways been a plus for that I've been able to see him grow up he's like 8 months old now. So I've been able to be here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's some of the silver lining of COVID is people are getting a lot more home time now. They're not having to leave home as much.
Yeah, that's true enough. I mean,
so that's awesome. Congrats on that.
Because there's like one period of time that I saw my wife for like 2.5 months the entire year.
Goodness. So, that kind of stuff's got to be rough.
So that silver lining, like you said, there is kind of some of that going on with COVID despite everything else there.
Yeah.
So what's going back to the photography thing, what's one of your favorite shoots you've ever done?
Oh wow, there's a lot of them.
How do you pick?
I mean, I've just been really super lucky in the things I've been able to do. I mean, the TV show stuff is like a whole different kind of way of shooting than the fashion stuff. Generally speaking, I really like to shoot fashion editorials more so over, say, catalogs or something like that, because it's just more creative. I got involved in photography because I wanted to do something creative. So that's storytelling and fashion editorials. That would be like the thing I like to do best. I guess one of the top ones right off the top of my head is when we flew into the desert in Inner Mongolia, and we shot in the desert for a couple of days. That was a super cool experience for sure.
Yeah.
This just the process of getting there with the planes, trains, dune buggies, donkeys, and at the end, really actually backpacking it in with a bunch of clothes and sitting on a dune and shooting. That was pretty cool, actually.
Wow.
We even rented some camels from these guys to do the shoot.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
they
a
get pretty
standout
good.
one, for sure.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of traveling with the photography? I'm sure you've probably done some interesting places.
Yeah, super lucky with that. If I shoot real quick, I majored in biology and anthropology, and then I went and studied in Africa for like 6 months. And when I came back from that, I really wanted to travel, so I was using like photography as a vehicle for that. So luckily, I've been able to live and travel to about 30 some different countries, and that's definitely been a highlight. And going to Iceland and all over Asia and places like that to shoot that's makes the job an extra pleasure, of course.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Quite the international man.
Yeah. So how's that been recently for you?
Well, that's the thing. Like everything's stopped. There's nothing. We can't do the productions on the TV shows. You can't. Well, I mean, things have been changing in a way. Like on set for some of the photo shoots, we just have. Before, I used to have 4 assistants, makeup artists with 3 assistants, a stylist with their assistant or 2. Everyone had maybe some model agents on there, the model and their boyfriend or whatever. Yeah. And now you can't have anybody on the set.
Yeah.
So that's changed things a lot. And then when it comes to TV, we're like filming ourselves now with our iPhones. Sort of thing, It's like no more 125 crew sort of shoots,
It's crazy.
It's changed a lot, and the whole industry. I don't know how the industry is going to rebound necessarily, but it's changed a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks up in the air on some of that stuff.
Yeah,
but hopefully things are back to normal, and hopefully processes don't change too much for the future.
Yeah, well, I guess everyone sort of keeps having, I don't know, like what, a 6-month outlook, like hope next summer is normal sort of thing. Stuff like that.
Yeah. So what do you have any sort of hobbies outside? I know photography is probably your job and something that you do like to do as a hobby, but do you have any other hobbies that you're into?
Well, I guess that's where a lot of the fitness stuff comes in, really.
Yeah, I noticed some of that.
Like I just, with COVID, I built a home gym because you can't go to a gym.
Nice.
So just training at home. I used to be really big into running and actually I was doing triathlons for a little while. So that was kind of a hobby thing for me. Ran some triathlons in New Zealand and Australia and here in Canada. Hobby wise also, I don't know, I collect a lot of cameras.
I couldn't tell.
Photography, I guess photography started as a hobby and now as a career. So I still do some of that like outside of the job, but in a way I kind of like get a break. It's that thing like at weddings or anywhere where somebody wants a photo taken. They say, "Oh, you're a professional. Here's my phone. Take a nice photo." It's like I don't really want to. I don't really want to take any more photos.
I'm just trying to hang out. It's my job, and I'm just here to watch. I'm trying to get away from the office. So
Well, I guess another thing I'm really into is collecting whiskey. I just started that a couple of years ago.
That's good. That's a good call.
Yeah, I got into that a few.
Is your whiskey collection as extensive as your camera collection?
Unfortunately, no.
You'll get there though.
It's growing though. It's growing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not bad, but it's not like 400 bottles strong or anything.
Yeah, I think I have like a half bottle of Jack Daniels. That's mine right now.
Keeping it classy.
I'm keeping it modest. Yeah.
Man, I think I got about 6 or so bottles going on right now, but
you got that big bottle of Woodford.
Oh yeah, I got like that giant. It's kind of like an art piece. Yeah. You got that, and then a couple of Wellers, and I think some American Eagle, just random collection. Nothing like
American
crazy.
Eagle? Like the clothing brand?
Did I say that right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think American
Eagle. It's just Eagle. Oh my gosh.
They went from destroyed jeans to the whiskey.
Yeah. It tastes like their cologne. Just, tastes horrible. I don't know why anyone wants that, but I apparently bought it now.
You're a big fan of that.
Oh man, I'm on another planet right now, apparently. Well, yeah, that's cool. And I think it's time to hear more about you in this next segment.
What if Todd was one of us?
I don't know if you used the correct transition there. That was a terrible transition.
I flustered myself with the American Eagle. Now
I could see. I could tell. I was like, he doesn't know what's happening right now.
I don't. As soon as I said it, I was like,
oh,
it's too late. Well, Brad, tell him what it actually is about.
So in this segment, we probably won't hear a whole lot about you, but we will get some of your advice. Basically, this segment is the Todd Squad out there. We have them submit questions, situations they're in, and kind of get some advice. What if Todd was one of us in this situation? So,
all right.
A listener submitted this kind of situation that she's in right now. My roommate and I share the laundry room, of course, because it's my roommate. But every time she does laundry, it sits in there for days, and I end up folding it for her and putting it away. It's been going on for months now, and I hate it. How do I address this with her? Should I fight her? What is your advice?
See, that I'm the kind of guy that unfortunately just keeps folding their laundry to be nice about it. But eventually I get to the point where I'm pretty nice to a point, and then it does turn into a fight. So so then I would say that approaching it and letting her know, hopefully she knows what you've been doing for her, but letting her know that it's not really working for you, avoiding super confrontation perhaps, because you got to live together.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing.
The best thing that I learned from roommates, though, is setting the precedent. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So it's really hard. Like when you first start living together, like that's my food, or that's my place, or that's what I like. You have to be a little aggressive about that, I've found. Even if it's out of your comfort zone, just kind of extend yourself to be like, that's my space, or that's my thing. And then once you set that precedent, then you can sort of relax it a bit. But if you're like super cool, like doing her laundry for like 6 months or a year, and then you get all pissy about it, she's like, what's up? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. Why didn't you say anything about that?
Yeah, why didn't you say something before? So
yeah, I
thought you hard to backtrack.
You love this.
Yeah. Like I thought you loved doing that for me. I didn't know. Sorry.
That's the only reason I'm still living here.
Yeah, the only reason
I would have moved out months ago. Yeah, I don't know. If I was the roommate folding, I think I would slowly, every time I folded them, I would take like 5 or 6 articles of clothing and just sell them on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh gosh.
Or just throw them out. And then like in 8 months, she doesn't have any clothes. And then maybe she'll learn to do her own laundry at that point.
Now she's just naked.
She's obviously wearing clothes at some point. No one does laundry in the nude and has no. I mean, some people do.
Somebody has. Yeah.
Well, it's annoying because you're like, you have all the laundry in the house done except for the one outfit you're wearing. But if you do laundry nude, you clean every article of clothing in the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I mean,
I've been there, done that.
You're doing that right now.
I'm doing it right now.
Everyone go check that out on youtube.com.
It's too bad we got a video product now.
Yeah.
We can't fool them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always having the roommate. You always feel like, unless you've been like friends for a long time, and even in that situation, it can get kind of weird. You don't want to step on each other's toes, or you don't want to overstep your boundaries. So it's a weird situation.
Well, that's why I say the precedent at the beginning is the big thing.
Yeah.
Because if you're like too nice about it at the beginning, it's so hard to go backwards because everyone just thinks, "What's your problem?" kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you
But
such
if
a
you
jerk
kind
now?
of set those boundaries at the beginning, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Some things just like you think are common sense. Like I think in college, I had some roommates, and it was like I baked like 30 something muffins for like my fraternity's thing or whatever. And that night, like I fell asleep, woke up, they were all eating. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, thanks for making all those muffins for us." I'm like, what gave you the idea that those were for you? They were all wrapped up and like
It's
it was
rush
not
week
out
and-
they were in presentation mode. Like
And then you got hazed
yeah,
for not having the muffins.
Yeah.
by my roommates. Oh,
by and your roommates.
just getting hazed from all ends.
Yeah, I've had that before. Like I had a couple roommates back in my earlier days, and they would either eat my cereal, even if you labeled it. Like we would have we would label our stuff, and it would just be ruined. I'm like, okay, what? And then when I bring it up, I would feel like the douche, even though I'm like, hey, that's my Lucky Charm. Stop eating my damn Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
it has my name on it.
See, I never had that issue. And I feel like Todd might be able to, sympathize with me. I'm a health nut. He was talking about his home gym, all that. I'm like sitting over there like, eating egg whites and spinach and all that. Like no one wanted that. Let's be honest. It wasn't like some Cocoa Puffs I had lying around. I didn't have that lying around. It was like canned.
It's like a terrible roommate. I would never be roommates with you. Be like, oh, what is that? Well, you wouldn't eat my cereal, so that's good.
Vegetables and lean chicken breast, and
he's just over there eating beets. So many beets.
Beets and chicken breast for days.
Can't beat it.
And bottles of water.
Yeah. Oh,
It also contributes to where you found your roommate. So like we were saying, you could find people on Craigslist. You could find people that you share a dorm with. So it all just depends on your roommate. But yeah, I think Todd, you've helped this person out, hopefully.
Yeah.
I think
the precedent, I guess, not set, but you got to be able to eventually. I guess you're just gonna have to confront them and say, "Hey, he's not cool," even though you think it is.
Throw hands if you need to.
Yeah.
You know, I like to throw
nothing to the face, but.
Huh. Well, you know what I like to do to the face?
It's time to prod Todd.
Oh. Here.
That was massively inappropriate.
You're a face prodder. Prodding faces, I see.
That's what we're doing. But surprisingly enough, this segment is not about the face. It is but a series of random
about another
questions.
place.
A series of random questions. The first question, Todd, we have for you is, why was Tarzan clean shaven?
Yeah, I mean, he lived in the jungle. So.
Yeah.
Did
he have access?
No sense, unless the guy was just using sharp clamshells, or kind of chipping away his own obsidian blades, maybe.
Man,
he really liked the look. I don't know.
Yeah,
it makes no sense actually.
And he never even had like 5 o'clock shadow or anything. He was always just like perfectly shaven. Like he was in great shape too.
Chest was shaved, everything.
Yeah, he was a
he's
a well-groomed man.
Yeah,
head to toe.
Living in the jungle.
Yeah, I've never thought about that. I mean, he had his like little loincloth. He was very trimmed. He was just cleaned up everywhere, manscaping, everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would expect that.
Yeah, he's trying to impress Jane. I mean,
yeah,
and it's weird because he was raised by gorillas, which are completely hairy,
which would not be shaving.
Yeah, I've never seen a gorilla shave.
He didn't pick that up from them.
Yeah. Maybe he did. Maybe he's like, I don't want all that hair. Like, my, what are they? Not parents.
Mother?
Yeah, my mother.
I guess. Well, if they raised him, he's like, these are my
don't
parents.
look like my mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like you take the opposite path of things, and maybe that was his learning experience. But
So he just was completely hairless.
Yeah. Drove him to make his own blades.
We
I still want to see him do
explanations.
Yeah. Yeah. I still want to see like the clamshell thing. I wonder if anyone's ever tried to shave.
A super sharp one, maybe. Yeah.
I think we'll have to do a video on us trying to shave with clamshells.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sure that'll go
I want
great.
that.
Next time
All
we're
right,
on the
well,
beach.
Shh.
You got it.
Down.
Good.
Yeah. I remember seeing the movie, and I never noticed it young, but like older, I was like, that is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
Surprised more people aren't talking about it, to be honest.
yeah, it's a problem. We need answers.
Yeah.
So speaking of movies, what was the last movie that made you cry? Are you a big crier at movies?
No.
How dare I cry at every movie I've
You've
seen.
had one movie at some point. in
Yeah,
your
there's
life.
got to be one.
There's that one that shed it. Just maybe water teared it up a little bit.
Maybe it just glistened a little bit.
Yeah, the drop didn't even make its way down the cheek.
Oh yeah. Okay, there's the one where okay. Oh god, what's the name of that movie? In Space with
Gravity?
Nope. There's another one. He's like behind the bookshelf trying to get to his daughter.
Oh.
He's in another timeline. Oh, God, why can't I think of the name? It's not Inception. It's another.
Yeah, I was gonna say Inception. It's like Space Inception.
Yeah, that kind of idea.
Space. Googling space.
I would say
Inception.
Space Interstellar. There it is.
Interstellar.
Okay.
That's it. That's the one. Yeah, that one. I admit there was some moments there that I felt a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I tried to type space inspection in Inception, and I wrote space inspection, and there's just videos of people doing crawl space inspections. So.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it makes me. It's making me cry. Right.
I would say that makes every time I got to go in my crawl space, I cry a little bit. So
I never saw Interstellar.
I
you never saw that one?
No.
I don't remember crying at it. I remember being like confused or something.
Well, the misty eye part about
Yeah.
that part.
What about you? Have you cried at any movies recently, Michael?
Well, I do like School of Rock, but I've had a habit of bringing that up almost every episode.
Yeah.
The fact that I watched School of Rock, but no, I've not cried at School of Rock. Man, the last movie I shed a tear at, man, I don't know. I remember like, you remember the movie Radio?
Oh yeah.
We watched. I'm sure I've cried at a movie since then, but I remember like it was in middle school and we all watched it like in class, and I'm sitting there like, oh god, just like crying my eyes out. Like,
Radio made me cry. It was weird.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah. Well, it was that one. Like, Remember the Titans? That was another like football movie. It made me what was it? The guy that got in the car wreck and died, or didn't die, but he was in the hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the last movie that's made me cry is a really random one. It was Detective Pikachu.
Excuse me.
It was the weirdest thing ever.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Explain.
It's like
what was the moment?
have either of you seen that movie?
No.
Okay.
But-
So Pikachu, so the guy's dad was a detective. The detective died, and his Pokemon was Pikachu. So when the detective died, his spirit moved over to Pikachu. So this Pikachu found the guy's son, and then they were friends, but the kid never knew that Pikachu was his dad's spirit. And then at the end of it, it turns out his dad's not dead. And then he had to do some stuff. And then, I don't know. I watched it with my son. I got very emotional at the end.
Did he cry, or you just over there
No,
falling?
we were at the movie theater, and I just I looked away and I wiped away my shameful tears. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, why the F am I crying at this movie right now?
Yeah.
It was probably my most non-proud cry, but it was also one of one of the first movies I watched like in the theaters with my son. So I don't know if it was that. We'll blame it on that scenario.
Is that moment.
Yeah. So
Actually, interestingly, you apparently are more sensitive and will cry when watching movies on a plane.
Oh.
Yeah, there's something about that you feel kind of the sense of being out of control, and you're more sensive.
Man,
So if you want to cry,
the last
watch movies on
movie.
a plane.
The last movie I watched on a plane was Tag.
Did you cry?
No, I did not cry that one. That's been hilarious. I was just like crying, my eyes out over there. So beautiful.
What are you watching?
Tag.
Tag.
I get back on land and I'm like, oh, what was I doing up there?
Who am I?
Dude, imagine watching like Marley and Me on a plane then.
Oh goodness. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, the dog movies, that's just not even fair.
Animal related death movies is just
that's rude.
I don't know why would they do that? Why do they do things like that?
Because we're talking about it.
Speaking of animal death.
Oh yeah. So this is a question from a member of the Todd Squad at Hello Clutter. How many fingers are in one serving of chicken fingers?
One serving of chicken fingers. From which restaurant are we talking about? Any particular restaurant? Just in general?
Yeah, I guess just in general. Is there like an overarching rule?
Yeah, wait,
3?
3.
I'm gonna go with 3.
Yeah.
3 is a nice arrangement of fingers.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm picturing a chick. I almost said a chicken hoof, a chicken like foot, and I think it's 3, but that's its foot. It doesn't have a hand.
They don't have fingers.
Yeah, well, obviously, I don't think they do.
I don't know. Do they? Do chickens have fingers? Yes.
So if you eat 5 fingers of chicken, does that mean
you're talking about like this little chicken stick?
Yeah, they're like the little. Yeah, like the little.
Or the actual claw.
And see, what's the
people eat that too?
Oh.
Yeah, people eat chicken feet. It's really
people eat chicken feet. Yeah,
I always see that at the store, and I'm like, who's buying this? What are you doing with it? Is there like,
I guess.
do you know? Like, what dish?
Yeah, there's like
sandwich.
There's a dish, a chicken finger dish. they boil it. They put it in different. I mean, in Asian cultures, anyway. I don't know. Maybe it's a broader spectrum of different.
Okay.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like it's meaty. It just looks like it's like a. I've seen chicken feet before, and they don't look like they have any sort of edible portion of them.
No, they're basically collagen, gelatinous, soft bone.
That could be kind of delicious.
Skin.
I'd rather just eat Jello.
Chicken flavored Jello.
Exactly.
So what's the difference in a chicken finger and a chicken strip? Is there one?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking chicken strip is a chicken finger, right? It's like a fish finger.
Yeah, I guess it's just like an alternate name for it. I don't know.
Must be.
I know a nugget is different than a finger.
Yeah, because that's what I thought at first. They're talking about chicken nuggets that come in a box, but it's not a nugget.
Yeah. Chicken consumption is very confusing.
When you make it confusing.
Well, it seems like every part of they have like chicken neck. Apparently there's chicken feet.
Oh, they are, yeah.
There's chicken wings, chicken breast. Every part of the chicken is consumable. Even stuff it leaves its body. Chicken liver, people even eat chicken liver.
I mean chicken liver.
Yeah.
Why are people why is the chicken like 100% consumable?
Gift to man.
Yes.
Human population, a food source that's never ending.
It's waste reduction. Why don't throw away?
Yeah. You can eat the entire thing, nothing wasted.
Well, why is that the only animal that we're eating 100% of, basically?
What about cows? Do we eat 100% of them?
I mean, people eat cow tongue. I don't think they're eating the feet.
Yeah, it's hard to eat the feet.
Is there any edible pieces of the face?
Yeah, they use the jowls to make head cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do use some of the head.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Well,
Brad, ask the next question. Oh my gosh, get us out of this.
If you were an instrument, which one would you be and why? Have you ever felt like you're related to an instrument, like intimately?
A spirit instrument? Not so much, but I think I would go with electric guitar.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that.
The pedals and different sounds you can make.
You can get pretty funky with it. Oh, what are you over there flexing? I can't turn my.
You have your bass hanging out over there.
Yeah, I got a bass. Ew. I got the other guitars over here.
Slapping the bass.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like the electric guitar.
I don't know. You put off kind of a saxophone vibe to me.
That's an instrument I've always wanted to learn.
Yeah, no, that's a saxophone. Really,
they're cool, man.
Does some things to the loins.
Excuse me.
Have you ever listened to a Kenny G album?
Oh,
not alone.
Yes. Not alone.
I only listen to Kenny G alone, and it's a trip.
That's an experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, what else would be
an oboe?
An oboe. Those are pretty cool.
They're
Something
right.
like being an oboe, though. Like.
Oh, it would suck. If I was going to actually be any sort of instrument, I think I would be like a banjo. Like those seem like fun, just from the way they sound.
I mean, you get a lot of you ever seen like a bluegrass band and you get through some abuse. If you got someone that's really picking,
they're all drunk off moonshine.
All of them, just
every
banjo player.
It's a fact. They all have the jug with the 3 X's on it.
Yeah,
I've never met a sober bluegrass guitarist. So,
man, yeah. What would yours be, Brad?
Me. I think I would be like a xylophone. I'm very gentle, yet
percussive.
Yeah, like I fit in with the percussive. Like I fit in with the group, but I'm kind of an outcast.
Huh.
I don't know why that was such a serious answer. I
I
really dove deep into myself to find that answer.
It's oddly pathetic. I don't know. The xylophone.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, anyways.
All right, clarinet.
Little Squidward. Okay. If you were, that's the same question. All right. Choose your roommate. Would it be James Bond or Chuck Norris? Who's living with you?
Or who are you living with?
Oh.
Ooh.
I kind of like the style of James Bond that's going on, but the raw edge of Chuck Norris is probably more fun to live with.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And I think if you live with James Bond, he would make you fold his clothes. I don't think he would do his own laundry.
Yeah, you might turn into being his. Yeah.
I don't know. He has that super cool Aston Martin though. And he probably has some cool guns.
Yeah, no, the guns parts could be fun.
Yeah, but then he could shoot you as well.
Chuck could teach you some real moves, though, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck can give you that raw edge.
Party with.
I've heard Chuck Norris is a good time to party with.
Yeah.
Him and Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah, also he knows a thing or two about dodgeball too. So I mean, he's a little more well-rounded than a James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond he's like one-dimensional.
Yeah, he could get a bit boring after time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, what's going on? I'm Bond, James. Okay, I know who you are, man.
You're just always
introducing yourself. As soon as you walk in the door, he's like, Bond. I'm like, shut up. Why are you always in a tuxedo? Shit.
Bro, wear some pajamas.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like
tuxedo pajamas.
Yeah.
Tone it down, please.
Yeah, I feel like Chuck Norris would just be like kicking it in like the living room, just
yeah,
chilling.
exactly.
And James Bond is screw that guy.
Like for living.
Yeah.
Maybe fun to hang out a bit.
And James Bond was played by so many different people. Chuck Norris is just Chuck Norris.
Just Chuck Norris, exactly.
Yeah.
Who wants to live with a schizophrenic roommate?
Right. One day it's Sean Connery, the next day it's Pierce Brosnan. You're like, okay, R.I.P. Sean Connery, but
yeah, I feel like you'd be on your toes every time you walked in your front door. You're like, which Bond do I got today?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you're probably your house is probably a target for attacks.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want that. Yeah.
no.
I
almost said Dr. Evil would be there, but that's a wrong movie.
Why? Just no reason at all. It's like, what are you doing here? This isn't where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So I guess if you lived with Chuck Norris, I think you'd have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So would you rather? Would you rather cook bacon naked or buy stock in Blockbuster?
I like being naked, so I'm just going with quick.
It's dangerous, though.
Yeah, I like that little bit of a little dangerous.
Yeah. I've cooked bacon shirtless before, and it's not fun.
That was enough for you.
Yeah. I cooked bacon pantsless once as well, just with a shirt on. It was a little more.
That's a little more dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, you have some vulnerable parts out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way you got to look at this question is like there's a reward potentially for each of these, and one of them is way more likely. So is Blockbuster going to come back anytime? Never. But the bacon, there is a much more likely chance you cook that successfully, and then you get bacon at the end of it, and you didn't burn off your film.
But
Right.
if you buy stock in Blockbuster, you have a 0% chance of burning off any of your appendages that may be exposed.
But then, yeah. But then you're just throwing away your money.
Well, you don't have to buy a whole bunch. You could buy like half a share.
Does that cost? They pay you?
Probably not a lot. Yeah. Please just buy stock in Blockbuster. Please.
Well, I mean, if it's that case, then I'll have to get the Blockbuster all day.
Nope. You're already naked.
I'm
with
naked.
Bacon all over you.
Naked.
Naked and bacon.
Bacon grease. Ugh.
Dipped in grease.
Yeah.
I like how you started out this answer with "I like being naked." Just throwing that out there.
First thought that came in my mind is like, well, I just like being naked. So.
Is there an option to buy stock in Blockbuster while I'm nude? If so, yes, please. Just get naked to buy it anyway. Yeah, because you can get naked to do that if you want. Like, there's no.
Yeah.
It doesn't say you have to be clothed to buy stock.
No, especially online trading.
Yeah, every time I buy stocks, I'm in the nude usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can think clearer that way.
Yeah, it's when you feel you feel risky, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna take this,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and then it could pay off big, or you can have some shrinkage in your funds. So
Stripping off your clothes, throwing on a little Kenny G, loading up Robin
man.
Hood. You're
Buying stocks.
buying stocks.
typical Friday night.
That's what the kids are calling it these days. So they're just buying stocks.
Yo, I bought so many stocks last night.
Oh, God.
I believe it.
Stocks deep. All right.
All right. So, on that note, what are your top 5 favorite fruits?
Mango, pears, blueberries, raspberries, and I'm gonna go with bananas, I guess.
Ooh, yeah.
I
Classic.
haven't had a pear in so long.
Oh, I love pears.
I love them too, but I don't know. Why don't I buy them?
I never think about them. Like,
Yeah.
I'll see them and I'm like, what are you? And I just keep going. It doesn't correlate that I'm like, I enjoy you, but like, I'm going to get an apple that I always get or something like that. So,
Which are so boring. Yeah.
yeah.
And mangoes, that's exotic-ish.
Yeah, it is very
Yeah.
exotic.
Yeah,
Eat those,
mango.
eat those naked.
Mangoes from South America, Africa, and Asia, they're all a little bit different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I've never noticed. I've never seen the different
which is-
varieties.
Yeah. I've never delved into the dark world of mangoes
Yeah.
throughout the
Mangoes
countries.
and whiskey. My
Yeah,
special.
I mean,
You say mangoes and whiskey? They pair nicely?
Be a little connoisseur of whiskey and mangoes.
Oh.
That makes sense.
two of the most prominent things to be
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
proficient in. So yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a.
Yeah. I like I don't know. I like a lot of different fruits, but I don't get a lot of different fruits. Like if they're available, I'll eat them, but I never go out and pursue them. I'm not like, oh, I want to go out and get a papaya.
Yeah.
Or
That's
a pomegranate. But like if there's a pomegranate in front of me and it's already like cleaned up, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I'll get a menu.
That's
Yeah, pomegranate probably wasn't the best option because it's like 3 days of work before you get anything
messy.
out of it.
Yeah. And it's good once you get there, but
Yeah.
it's a lot of
I
effort.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I think like plums are another one that like I love.
Yes.
Every year when they come around, I just completely forget to buy them, and then the year's gone. And I'm like, crap. No plums.
I bought a plum for the first time like 3 weeks ago, and it was so good.
Oh,
I was like, oh man,
yeah,
you get a little
soft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was BD in that. It was so good.
BDing that. No.
I tried to abbreviate it, but then you were questioning it. So
Well, I was confused.
yeah,
Then
you gotta
figure
get
it
balls
out.
deep in your plums sometimes.
I wish I had remained ignorant.
Yeah, you did this to yourself. Yeah, peaches are kind of. I don't know. I like peaches a lot. I almost choked on one and died when I was a child. So
Oh.
me and peaches don't get along too well. Sounds like a stripper as well.
Yeah, it does.
Me and her, we don't get along anymore.
God.
Well, round it out with a question that bothers me a lot. Do you lick your fingers before you turn a page in a book?
No.
Have you seen people do this?
Yeah, I would say I did. I have. Yeah.
Wow.
I don't really get it, but
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
It seems like the most
turn the page, but
it's the most unsanitary thing in the world.
yeah, I would not
Like
think of doing.
Yeah. I brought this question up because I saw it earlier today. I was in a waiting room at the doctor, and there was a lady who had a book, and she was sitting across the room, and I looked over, and she was just lathering up that thumb.
What?
Yeah, it was just dripping.
Oh,
And she
God.
was like turning the page, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, I've never in my life had a problem with turning a page, and I've never had to lick my finger to get a grip on a page.
No. That's not a real world. I think that's not a problem.
Do you do this, Michael?
No. I mean, I think I've done it once, like to get like a grocery bag open or something.
Yeah.
But like that's not even every time. Like I have exhausted my dry fingers before I got to get the lickage in there.
Yeah, like people are like, let me turn a page, lick. Let me turn another page, lick, and then like this is a book from the local library that I don't know. I just wanted to find out about that because I didn't know if people actually did that or if this lady was the exception.
Yeah. I mean,
Lady sucks.
when is it appropriate to lick your fingers before you do something?
Oh. Before you listen to Kenny G, of course.
Oh God.
Is that a snort?
It got me there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cooking bacon naked. There's some appropriate times to lick your fingers, but not when you're reading the book.
Yeah. I think they like after you just ate like some wings, like, oh man, those are ribs, some finger licking.
Ribs are a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Like
post. It's not pre.
So what-
it's not a pre-lick.
Oh,
So
you don't
another
lick your fingers and eat some ribs. No.
I was like, what are you doing? What do they taste like before? And then what do they taste like after? Just
I gotta make sure I can get a good grip on these ribs.
oh.
So when is it appropriate to lick other people's fingers? Is it ever appropriate?
Well, you know them, I guess.
I would hope you know that, yeah.
It's just random people. They're eating ribs and you just swoop in after they're done and just
Let me just taste that. Yeah.
yeah, let's see. Oh, cool. This is great.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well,
that was an educational segment there.
that was odd. Now it's time for the next segment, which is also odd.
That's odd, Todd.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll get as odd as the previous segment, but this does have some oddities to it. This is the segment where we want to hear the 2 truths and 1 lie, and Michael and I will try to see if we can guess which one's the lie. And
like I said, I wrote this out to make sure I get it right. All right.
let's whip it
The
up.
first one was, once I was photographing the current king of Thailand's daughter for Numero magazine. She was protected by numerous military personnel that were stationed on every floor of the 4-floor studio, with 2 military escorts on set at all time. And despite that, she was super cool and relaxed and would high-five me after each outfit we shot.
Okay.
So that's one idea. The other one is, when I was living in Greece, I went to dinner at a friend's grandparents in Crete. I'm a pretty big eater, so they just kept feeding me all night long. And at the end was only left the rabbit head. So they gave me a hammer to crack it open so I make sure I could eat the entire head. And then after dinner, we all danced in the living room. And around midnight, we fired shotguns out the window to celebrate.
What?
And the third one, when filming Asia's Next Top Model on the final episode with Tyra Banks, she was so jet lagged that in the green room, while we waited for our next filming, she fell asleep and was snoring loudly.
she's a big snorer, huh?
What
Wow.
a big snorer.
What a
All right.
freaking selection of.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense
Yeah.
grouping there.
Yeah, so you had the relaxed photo shoot despite the bodyguards for days.
Yeah.
The rabbit head cracking that open in Greece and then
Cracking it.
shooting shotguns out the window.
Right.
And then Asia's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks. Is that the name right?
Snoring.
Yeah, snoring in the green room.
In the green room.
Ooh.
Loudly.
Oh man, where do we go with this, Brad?
Yeah, it's
I
very. I think
I want
yeah,
all
this is-
these to be rather true.
right. I want them to all to be true.
Yeah, I know which one I'm not picking because that one's got to be true.
Yeah,
I'm imagining he's naked shooting shotguns out the window too. Just that's
you're imagining him. Imagine him naked.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Tyra Banks one. I think that one's the lie. Yeah, I don't think she was snoring in the green room, even though it's very
but
believable.
she was just quietly sleeping.
Yeah, she wasn't snoring. She was
Oh,
just-
that was the lie.
yeah. Brad, what do you think?
As much as I want it to be true, I think the shotguns and rabbits one is indeed not true.
Okay, what is it?
Settled?
We're settled.
Yeah. So there's a touch of truth to the lie, but the lie really is Tyra Banks.
Dang it!
I am so good at this, Brad. You suck.
And she was
Dang it!
tired, passed out in the green room, but she wasn't snoring away for days. No.
Ah,
There it is.
I got that part right.
But the Greece one is, when I tell people the story, most people don't believe me. It was quite an experience. I when they started taking out the shotgun and everyone taking a couple shots out the window, I couldn't even believe it myself. Quite an experience, anyway.
Man. Yeah.
That's not the place I would expect you to be shooting shotguns out of a window. I would expect you to be in the backwoods of Kentucky or something, not in Greece.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I mean, all the homemade wine sort of helped, I guess. But
Yeah, that'll contribute to those kind of choices.
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds like the photo shoot where you got bodyguards. And were you scared at all during that photo shoot? Like,
Yeah, how did
I
you
don't do
feel
the
during
wrong
that?
thing or say something?
I initially a little bit because there's certain protocol as well, like how you need to bow when you meet her, and there's a certain
Oh wow.
protocol to the Thai royalty overall. So when you first arrive, there's this really big brief that princess is waiting to meet you, and don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, make sure you do this. And then they push you in the room. So,
Good luck.
A bit like, hi. I don't know if I can shake your hand, or if I'm supposed to, or if I'm supposed to turn or bow. And then I bowed a little bit, but is that a deep enough bow? I don't know. Did I just insult you?
Oh man.
So it is a little bit.
Sounds so stressful.
First, and that's why I thought, oh gosh, it's going to be so hard to shoot her because she's going to be so royal. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Then she turned out to be like super cool and relaxed and like hopping around the set all the time like a little girl. So.
Oh man, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
She sounds like you've had, just awesome experiences. That is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been really blessed in that direction for sure.
Yeah.
Experienced a lot of different things. That's why I said earlier, after all those opportunities, still struck by how amazing it is to be a dad. So that's what I mean.
Which just heightens the amount of like how important that is and how awesome you hold that in regard to. Like,
and because you have that reference to that point, right? Just like,
out of all these crazy things and wild stuff, like that is and it's understandable. That's awesome.
Yeah. Man. Wow. So, man, with those experiences, I'm sure you've gotten some good wisdom through the years. So we'll hear about that in our next segment.
In Todd We Trust.
All right. So we are rounding out the episode here. So what is one piece of advice that you would like to leave the Todd Squad today? The floor is yours.
Okay, well, I was going to do something like just silly, but I just go with something more real, I guess. Just as in, taking from my own reference, it's not always the easiest path to take, but I still feel like you need to seek out doing things that you love as sort of your overall career direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did for myself anyway. Again, the path, it depends on what your definition of success is, I guess, overall. But the path can be a little challenging, but I think ultimately not being locked into something that you're just doing because whoever makes you believe that you should be doing that is not the way to have a fulfilling life, that you should really follow your heart. Not be delusional, of course.
Of course,
that doesn't really work. But still, open up your mind to, but I feel like you guys are in part doing anyway. You're doing something that you really love and enjoy, and just getting out there and doing it. I think that would be, that's what I want to tell my own son, and that's what I would tell people for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. So have you always been that way, or was it like, were you stuck in like one job for a while and you like learned the hard way, or how did that?
A little bit, just in the respect that, I went to not that going to university was a bad thing, of course, but I was sort of locked into, you get good grades at school, which is also not a bad thing. Going to school is a good thing. But you get good grades in school, then you go to university and you get a good job, and then sort of the very step-by-step safe direction, have a solid bank account, good credit rating, pay your mortgage, that kind of thing. It was my initial direction in life. And not that I don't pay my mortgage, but that you just sort of get a little outside of that though, and find what you love and pursue it. That's what I did anyway. And if I would have went in the original direction, I'd probably be a veterinarian today, which is also not a bad job, but I wouldn't have had the experiences of travel and living around the world and all the different people I've been able to meet, that kind of thing. So
probably wouldn't have shot shotguns out a window in Greece.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably wouldn't have eaten rabbits. You'd have just been helping rabbits.
Smashing them with hammers, that would be
doing quite the opposite.
Oh gosh, he's a very bad vet.
It's the worst.
Oh gosh, that's a
vet / culinary specialist. In the back of his veterinarian practice, he has a restaurant.
Exactly.
Oh well. You did do that. So that is some solid advice though. And I think, that's something like we all get caught up in the rat race. And, just, I think like you're told from a young age, like you have to do this, and this, and then and next thing you know, like you're in this career, you're like, wait, what am I doing? And is this really what I'm passionate about? Some people are lucky enough to fall into that passion through that route, but some people, they gotta learn the hard way and readjust and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's good advice. But like you also said, be realistic about it. Don't be, don't just like quit your job or like coming out of like you're a middle schooler going to high school. Like, I don't even need high school. I'm going to go be a TikToker. I don't know. The kids
don't do that, kids.
No, it's true. I mean, I just don't want to give that advice and then have people think like that random Todd said that I could just do this or whatever. But it's, you have to do it within sort of reason.
Yeah.
But not just getting locked into, I just need to do it the step-by-step, the ABCs of life. My experience has been follow some of the dreams, some of the love, some of the passion that you have for other, whatever it may be.
Yeah. And like you said, a lot of people, you've got to define your own success. There's not a cookie cutter definition of success that covers everybody.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said the definition of success is should be, I think, a range depending on the individual, of course.
Everyone defines their own success.
Yeah, it's not always just about money or whatever. Success can be many different things.
Yeah, it could be having 400 and something cameras.
Right. Yeah.
Man, well, that is incredibly nod worthy. If I've ever gotten advice that deserves a nod.
It's time to give a nod to Todd.
That was a lot of words to say that.
You've been on top of your game today, Michael.
To say the least.
Yeah, to say the least. And we've both. Yeah, I'm feeling rather naughty right now, so I'm gonna toss out some nods. Thanks, Todd. We appreciate you taking the time out and giving us advice, telling us about your awesome trips you've taken around the world, answering some of our just most unanswered questions that society needs to know. I think you've cleared up a lot of things throughout the world, and it'll probably end up being a better place after this is distributed worldwide. So
exactly, I'm glad to help.
Yeah. So no, but in all seriousness, thanks. We really appreciate it. I had a great time. I hope you did as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Yes, thank you. It was, as far as interviews go, this is like a top 5 fun interview. Yeah.
Oh, that's what we try to do. I'm surprised that Michael didn't drop it down a couple of rungs with all of his antics.
with all my smooth talking over here.
You're the anti Kenny G.
I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, I could tell. Yeah. So with that, do you? I know you probably have. Do you have a website or anything you want to direct anybody to? Drop that.
Oh yeah, sure. I think you hit it up at the beginning. Mostly communicating there on Instagram right now, Todd Anthony Tyler, and then it gets real tricky. ToddAnthonyTyler.com, the website. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, maybe if something of interest that people don't know is I have a small men's style blog called Perfect Chemical. Maybe that's something a little different out there that people might not know.
Perfect Chemical.
The Perfect Chemical. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a little. I started designing suits, and there's another whole story. But I still kind of semi-actively have it going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, everyone out there, if you see his Instagram page at Todd Anthony Tyler, you'll want to go follow the Perfect Chemical because he's a stylish man.
He's got the drip.
Yeah, I would take his advice on his on clothing. So no, yeah, but once you go check him out, go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram at the Toddcast Pod. Subscribe to the Toddcast on any platform, whichever platform you choose. We're on all of them. We're on YouTube now, so go ahead and check out the video product. You get to see Todd, you get to see Michael, unfortunately, and my face is there as well. So I've been so harsh on you, Michael.
I know, this has been a tough night. It's a break.
A lot of
I'm still
Michael's
upset for.
Yeah.
I'm still feeling vulnerable from talking about my Detective Pikachu and comparing myself to a xylophone. So
Yeah, last time you'll ever be vulnerable.
yeah. So despite our antics, go ahead and give us a review and drop a 5-star rating if you're feeling nasty. Also, recommend us to your friends. With that being said,
With that, I'm Michael.
I'm Brad. And
He's
he
Todd.
is Todd.
And he's got the drip.
So drip.
It's dripping everywhere.